And a couple of papers naturally touch upon climate finance as well. So a first paper is on conditional NDCs. Many countries make their NDCs conditional, and we've looked at the finance requests in these conditional NDCs and demonstrate that the overall finance requests by far exceed the current funding pledges by developed countries. So even if we would assume, and it's unlikely, that the entire 100 billion of climate finance would be spent on NDC implementation, it would still not be sufficient. Second example is a paper by Frauke Reuser et al. And she basically demonstrates, or they demonstrate, that there need to be more technical, financial, and also capacity development support for developing countries for them to both implement their current NDCs but also to make them more ambitious and more effective in the future. And then a third example I'd like to mention in this context is the paper by Mizan Khan and colleagues, also part of the special issue, who basically demonstrate that developing countries missed a chance of being much more clear and explicit and transparent on their capacity building needs in their NDCs, in order not only to create more country ownership, but also to make NDCs more ambitious.
Yeah, so the IPCC report on global warming of 1.5 degrees highlights the fact that climate and development are highly interconnected. It highlights the deeply transformative nature of the transition to a low carbon and climate resilient world. In fact, climate action needs to be undertaken in all economic sectors, and to that end it will have implications for all sustainable development goals. In a tool jointly developed by the German Development Institute together with the Stockholm Environment Institute, we show that activities pledged in the NDCs are actually touching upon all the SDGs, and there are in fact development plans, not only climate plans. In that sense, I would say that one obvious way and quick way to mobilize more climate finance is to make all development assistance climate-proof, basically to have in mind climate mitigation and climate adaptation, and also to have in mind the 1.5 degree, given the impacts of climate change on development itself. In a policy brief that we have jointly prepared together with colleagues from the European think tanks group on how to harness EU development cooperation for boosting climate ambition, we emphasize the importance of coordinated and coherent action for climate and for sustainable development. In that sense, climate action can be development action and vice versa. Moreover, what we also note in this paper actually is that climate finance so far has been going mostly to climate mitigation and mostly to middle-income countries, in particular upper middle-income countries, despite a commitment by countries to disperse equal amounts to adaptation and mitigation.